Hello, friends. A very, very sparkling Sunday to the lovers of Sunday Kehwa sips. Thanks, Mushtaq Bala and Kashmir Pen, for this platform. It is always a pleasure to be present here. Today, I have another great book with me. This is Jhumpa Lahiri's second novel, number one bestseller, The Lowland. I remember having read it 10 years back. It was published in 2013. I read it 10 years back, I think. And I'm not going to tell you the story. I'll just tell you that it is about two brothers. And in order to know what the story is, you'll have to get hold of this book by Jhumpa Lahiri. And it was shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize 2013. So it's a very interesting book, very well written, and very intriguing too. You ought to get hold of it and read it. But in the meantime, I'll just leave you with something to nibble on, something to chew on. And this is the fourth chapter, page 178. I found it very interesting when I read it long time back. So I'll just read it out for you. At 4, Bela had a memory. The word yesterday entered her vocabulary, though its meaning was elastic. Synonymous with whatever was no longer the case. The past collapsed in no particular order, contained by a single word. It was the English word she used. It was in English that the past was unilateral. In Bengali, the word for yesterday, kal, was also the word for tomorrow. In Bengali, one needed an adjective or relied on the tense of a verb to distinguish what had already happened from what would be. Time flowed for Bela in the opposite direction. The day after yesterday, she sometimes said. Pronounced slightly differently, Bela's name, the name of a flower, was itself the word for a span of time, a portion of the day. Bela's yesterday was a receptacle for anything her mind stored, any experience or impression that had come before. Her memory was brief, its contents limited, lacking chronology, randomly rearranged. So that one day she told Gauri, who was combing a stubborn knot out of her thick hair, I want short hair like yesterday. I want short hair like yesterday. It had been many months ago that Bela's hair was short. And at first, this was what Gauri told her. She explained that it took more than a day for hair to grow long again. She told Bela that her hair had been short perhaps 100 yesterdays ago, not one. But for Bela, 3 months ago and the day before were the same. So this was an extract from the book which I wanted to read out because I was very intrigued by this and the way this little girl uses the word kal, yesterday. She was frustrated with Gauri for contradicting her. Disappointment traveled like a dark cloud across her face. There was no obvious trace in it of Gauri or of Udayan. How was it that her forehead was faintly convex, that the inner corners of her eyes dipped down? The placement of the eyes was distinctive. Gauri was aware of the contrast of her own toffee skin to Bela's lighter complexion, a creamy fairness she had received from Gauri's mother-in-law. So I am going to stop here. Okay, where is my other jacket? Bela asked another day as Gauri handed her a new one. They were on their way to school. Which? The yellow one from yesterday. So I stop here and this is the book. It was critically acclaimed when it was published and let us hear what Entertainment Weekly has to say about it. Lahiri is a master of dramatic turns, but not in the conventional sense. She lets tension build slowly until something snaps. What she twists is you. Lahiri shows that the twist can be even more devastating when you have been afraid that it might happen all along. And there is another, blurb, Newsday, from Newsday. The lowland serves as Lahiri's telling metaphor for the dark, dank, weedy places that haunt our lives. In its quiet intensity, the book reminds us of the triumphant fiction of Alice Munro and William Trevor. So I think you'll love the book as I loved it 10 or 11 years back, and just want you to read it and send me the feedback. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening to me, and Toodaloo. Meet you once again next Sunday.